Hi guys and welcome to another episode of Share It Ralph. And on today's episode, I'll be talking about how to prepare for your worship set. So before we go to the actual process of preparing for a worship set, let me just talk about the basics. Actually, these basics are very important because if we don't have this, then we don't have any substance, we don't have any foundation in ministering to the Lord and ministering to the people. So before anything else, we should prepare our heart. Preparing our heart is not weekly, but it's daily. Our relationship with God will not immediately, level up when we are on stage. But the level of our relationship with God is developed daily. Again, not weekly. The preparation doesn't really happen when you receive the schedule, but preparation is every day. That you live a life bearing in mind that I am a minister of God. I'm part of the worship team. I'm ministering to God and to His people. Second is, if you know that you are in conflict with someone, it is very important for you to settle that matter. Jesus said if you are coming into the presence of God, but you have this conflict with other brother, better settle it before you enter the presence of God. Or maybe you are in conflict with some of the members in the worship team, or you don't really like the idea of the worship leader or the music director. We should develop a culture of openness, a culture of transparency, and settle it first before practice. Because if you don't, you would feel the tension during the practice, during the rehearsals, and maybe during worship. And it doesn't feel good. If you are the song leader, it's very important that you understand the songs that you are singing, that you really meditated on the lyrics of those songs, and it would be something that would come out naturally in you. Ministering to God is an overflow of our love, and if our life doesn't possess that intimate relationship with God, it would show when we are on the platform. And guys, we cannot fake it. The last thing that you would want to do is to go on that platform and fake your relationship with God. You're not fooling the people, you're not fooling God, but you're fooling yourself. So let's go to the technical part of this vlog, which is the actual preparation, how I prepare for the worship set. This would be divided in 3 parts, and let's start with number 1. Number 1 is listing. Let's talk about listing. This is the part where you list every detail about the songs that you're going to sing for that week. And this should be accomplished not just by the musicians, but also the worship leader. I don't know about the structure of your worship team, but other churches, the music director prepare it for the musicians and for the singers. Maybe they're using notations and they have prepared the pieces for every member of the worship team. But if that's not your case, what you need to do, or what you need to develop, is get a notebook and list down all of the things that has something to do with your lineup that week. So the list should contain every information that is available about the songs that you're going to sing. For example, the key. Okay, what kind of key are you going to use? Is it G, D, or whatever? Tempo. Okay, research the tempo. If you're the drummer, it's very important that you use a metronome and search the tempo on the specific song that you want to cover for that week. What else? Sequence. What I do is I write the sequence, okay, of the song. You should write the sequence for every song. It is also important to specify what version are you going to sing, because there are dozens of versions out there. For example, 10,000 Reasons has a lot of versions. Build My Life has a lot of versions. So if you're the music director, if you're the worship leader, you should specify what kind of version or what worship artist are you going to cover for that specific week. Now, after listing every information about the songs that you're going to sing, we're going to jump to the next step, which is listening. Our former music director, Pastor Lori, when she is scheduled to lead worship, she would listen to the songs throughout the week, whether she's working or she's doing something. She would listen to the songs throughout the week over and over again, regardless of how old the song, how she is familiar with the song. She would listen to the songs over and over again to familiarize herself, but not only that, to master the song. It's very important to listen to the songs that we're going to sing over and over again, even though you played that song for many years. For example, the song Through It All. I've been playing it for over a decade. But every now and then, I discovered that I've been playing a wrong chord for how many years. And I discovered the real chord that I should play. And one of the benefits of mastering the song is during the rehearsals, if there is a wrong chord, if there's something that is not right in the chord pattern, you can immediately notice it and correct it. So listen to the songs over and over and over again. Okay, when you have all of the information in your list, the next part is to listen to those songs over and over again. I don't know when the music director or the worship leader passes the lineup, but I would suggest it would be more early so that the musicians and the singers can really study the lineup. But regardless, the moment you receive the lineup, you should do your list and start listening. And not only that, while listening to the songs, worship, feel the message of the song. You know, in communication, the more you understand the message, the more you effectively communicate it to other people. Now, the last part of the preparation is learning. We've talked about listening. Now let's talk about learning. And what do I mean by learning? After you've gathered all of the information that you need for the songs that you're going to sing for that week, and you've listened to those songs, and you've worshiped while listening to those songs, now is the time for you to learn. What do I mean by learning? It means you start practicing. When you gather on a Saturday night, that is not called practice. That is called rehearsals. When you gather together, you just collaborate with your ideas because you've already practiced. I've been into a lot of rehearsals where it became a practice, where the musician don't know the chords and don't know the sequences, and that's the only time they would do their list. The whole team suffers. Instead of rehearsing for 30 minutes, you end up having practice for 2 hours, which is not a very good practice because time is very precious, not just for you, but for those teammates that you have. Some of them have families, some of them have businesses. So a responsible minister of worship would learn the songs beforehand. Even you're not scheduled, you should learn the songs, right? So the third process is learning. It's the actual part where you learn the song, where you actually play it, where you learn your parts. It's very important that you learn your parts and you know the parts of each musician. In learning, there are a lot of resources. We have YouTube, we have Google, we have Worship Together. You don't have an excuse not to learn the song, right? So watch tutorials, watch patterns, how they do this. If you are a widow like me, you play by ears, listen and learn it through your ears, but at the same time, try to confirm it by watching a YouTube video about that intro or about that part. Those are the 3 things that I normally do when I am scheduled for a worship set. I list down things that I need to list, all of the information about the songs, the key, the tempo, What else? The sequence, the arrangements, I write those down, and I try to collaborate with other people as well. Second is listening. I listen to the songs throughout the week over and over again. The last part is I learn it. I actually sit down and try to learn sequence by sequence, learn by part, start to play it by the standard key before you transition to the key of your worship leader. Learn the song. These things are so important if we want to be excellent and effective in worship ministry. So that is how I prepare for a worship set: listening, and learning. I hope you learned something from this episode. If you've not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. God bless you.